back.
So excited to be back with you again, Natalie. I like spending Friday afternoons with you.
I do too, although I think I prefer it side by side in Miami where it's warm instead of
Agreed.
where I am where it's cold. So we just appreciate you guys joining us again on your Friday afternoons. We have some exciting information to share, but wanted to recap really quick just kind of the process that we've gone through. So we started this whole thing with starting the conversation, and you guys are mastering that. Moved into the second step, identifying the need, followed by demonstrating and sharing those solutions. Last week, we talked about addressing concerns. So this week, we are going to dive right into seeking that commitment.
I love it. So, y'all have been planting the seeds, you've been having conversations, you've been building relationships, and you've answered probably a fair number of questions from your prospects, right? Now what? Well, now it gets really good because probably they're not just going to say, sign me up, and that's okay. So it's really important that you invite them to come and be a part of our community. You invite them, ask them to make a decision and to join us. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be all salesy about it. Maintain the relationship and keep that connection with them that's really genuine and authentic. But you do have to ask if they're ready to get started. And these questions, we're going to give you a few. They really work for someone who might be interested in the VIP opportunity or becoming a market partner. So it could be as easy as simply asking, it sounds like this could be a great fit for you. Are you ready to enroll?
Yep. And another one is a simple one and straightforward is just, are you ready to get started?
Yep. So straightforward. Or you could say, what are your thoughts about getting started with Monat?
Yes. The point is to get to those questions. And we wanted to share another kind of a way to kind of gauge where their interest is. And I know Victoria Alario does this and has a lot of success with it. And many of you are doing this too. And it is simple. It's simple as saying, well, now that you know more about Monat and we've talked through all your questions, where would you say you are on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being, you know what, sign me up. I am ready and raring to go. And 1 being, you know what, I really just wanted to meet you for free coffee, or something similar to that, whatever you're comfortable with. But once they give you that number, you'll have a better understanding and a gauge of where they are in terms of their readiness to join you, either as a VIP or a market partner.
And I love when Victoria shared this approach with me because it's so simple and straightforward. So if their number's a 10, awesome. You can go ahead and help them get their product pack or VIP enrollment started. But if their number is somewhere between a 1 and a 9, you can ask them the next question. What's holding you back from being a 10? This is where it can happen. Your mind starts to go a lot of different places and you're like, oh, she may think I'm crazy. She doesn't want to do this. She doesn't want to work with me. But don't let your brain go there.
It's very easy to do. And I think when you're doing that, you're really prejudging for them. When you start providing the answer before you really even ask the question, you're prejudging and making their decision. So the key is to ask your question, and then the next thing you want to say is nothing. You want to let them respond. So sit back and listen, and they may respond with a 6 or a 7 and say something like, I need to run it past my spouse. Or it could be that there's a big event, a big vacation, or, I don't know, like your daughter's wedding, Angie. Something like that could be coming up that is going to take a lot of time, finances, and energy. And then that, connects them to the financial need. So if they mention, I'm just strapped financially with the wedding, or we got this big vacation, that's going to be your cue. And then once you know what they're thinking, then you can start peeling back that onion, so to speak, with questions such as, what other information could I provide you or help you with to help you with whatever her response was? So, or to help you get closer to that 10.
Yeah. And again, I have another question, but Natalie, what I love about this is that it's so conversational and it's so based in the relationship. When you're asking these questions, you're truly helping meet their need and giving them solutions and asking. Another question is, if whatever they mentioned wasn't in the way right now, would you still be interested?
Yeah. Get them thinking forward to, okay, well, when this is over, when I've paid that bill, or we've had the wedding, or we're back from vacation. And it kind of plays into the next question is, if I could help you with the timing on that, what are your thoughts at looking at a start date once the wedding has occurred, once
Right.
the vacation is over?
And as someone who is planning a wedding, like you really kind of can't see past that. And so your ability to help them think forward and help them plan beyond some big event or some big thing that's happening in their life is really, really awesome. And again, they love that you care enough to be able to help them see past that. So it's a really cool opportunity to deepen the relationship. Another thing that you could say, if they say, hey, I may need to chat with my spouse about that, it's really important that you follow up. So say, that's great. I totally understand. Let's set up a time that we could chat afterwards so I could answer any additional questions or concerns that might come up. How about tomorrow at 4? Now, it's important to keep that communication open as you're preparing to set up that time to talk, right? So you're checking in, you're touching base, ask if their, say, 6 has moved closer to a 10. It's simple when you think of that as kind of a gauge or a meter for what their interest level is. So you can kind of keep that in mind. Are they moving closer? The most important thing, though, is remember this is about them. While there are amazing benefits to our market partners for sponsoring and bringing on VIPs and market partners, it truly is about getting a fit for them so that they can come into whatever that level of engagement is and be successful, and really enjoy being a part of our community.
Absolutely. It got to focus on them. Make it about them, not about you. It's a lot easier when you make it about them because you can focus on their needs and not what you're trying to get out of it. So that leads us into just a reminder that, last week we talked about overcoming objections, addressing those concerns, and we referenced the handy guide in the resource library. So I hope you've all printed that out by now and gotten familiar with it. But it's always helpful to kind of refresh yourself on what's there. So if you haven't already, get comfortable with some of those objections that might come up and some of the answers so that you are equipped and more at ease when those hesitations or concerns come up. It'll roll off your tongue the more comfortable you become with it. So let's talk about, what if they say, no, not now. Perhaps that big life event or craziness at work just isn't something that they can see themselves overcoming at this time. So a great follow-up question to that then would be, well, when would be a good time to check back with you? When can I get back in touch with you in the future? You can offer the VIP experience. So if you've been talking about market partner experience and they've just said, this isn't a great time, follow up and say, how about considering the VIP experience, if that initial interest was market partner, because that way they can use the products, learn about the company in the meantime. And we all know what happens when you start using the products and you fall in love with them. They'll get used to them. They'll start getting comments from their friends and family. And I think that light bulb will go off that they say, wow, maybe I should be doing this. Maybe I don't need to wait, because that leads them to thinking, wow, I should really be a market partner.
Exactly. And who isn't going to fall in love with our products? So absolutely. Now, the one thing too, if they say, now it just isn't the right time, be sure to ask when specials or incentives come up in the future, would it be okay for me to reach out and let you know about them? If they say yes to that, then you know that they're still interested in what we have to offer. So this gives you that opportunity to stay connected when we do have a flash sale or some special incentive on a product that they would just love. You can reach out and say, hey, you had asked me to give you a call or let you know when this special came up again. Something that is personal to them, right? And remember, each of these touch points is building that relationship a little bit deeper. We've talked a lot about people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Taking the time to follow up with someone really shows that you care and they matter to you, and that's gold. Now, if it's a hard no, and they just aren't ready to be a market partner right now or a VIP, say thank you so much for taking a closer look. I'm really excited that I got to connect with you and spend some time. Let them know that you're available. If they change their mind or something comes up or they have any questions, they could, we want to hear from them. And if it's a hard no on market partner, again, invite them to be a VIP. Now, a really cool thing is a referral. And a referral is truly the best way that someone could give you a compliment. But oftentimes you do have to ask for a referral. So if they are a hard no, that's okay. Ask them who they know, who Monat might be a great fit or provide great solutions for, and connect with them. I once knew someone who had in her subject line or in her signature line of her email, the greatest compliment I can receive is a referral from your friends and family. And I just thought that was a really neat way to softly invite referrals.
Absolutely. And in all of this, the thing that keeps coming to my mind is, you got to remember it's not your job to convince them. You shouldn't have to convince them. You'll pull them the entire way if you convince them. Simply focus on sharing something that you've had a great experience with, that so many other people have had a great experience with, and then invite them to do the same while ensuring that they have all the information that they need to make that decision. Bottom line is, you can't expect someone to make their decision without inviting them to. Some of them will sit back and think and overthink it forever. And they would walk away with all of this amazing information that you just shared with them and not know what to do with it. It's kind of like the cookie analogy. Like, if you just set the cookies out, but you don't tell anybody that they're there or ask them if they want one, they're just going to sit there and go to waste. We don't want what's available with Monat to go to waste by any means.
Yeah, I love the cookie analogy. I just like cookies, but I love the analogy.
Exactly.
Invite, right?
Right.
Okay, so here's the thing. Don't be afraid to get into these conversations when you're inviting and asking, right? Do it from your heart and don't overthink it. It is totally okay to not have all the answers. We have amazing people that you can connect with, leaders you can connect with, great examples and training, but just don't overthink it to the point that you don't ask. Be in that moment with them, be present, and be authentic in that. I have seen lots of situations where, you can say all of the right things to the wrong person and it's not a fit. And you can say all of the wrong things to the right person and things are going to work out exactly like they should. It's a great fit, right? So
Yeah.
don't overthink it. Be authentic and genuine and just ask.
Yeah. Just be you. I mean, that's what's going to connect people to you, is when they feel that you are genuine and authentic and not regurgitating a script or, trying to convince them. So the point is just to get in there and have the conversations. And some are going to go amazing and some are going to be like, wow, that didn't go so well. But with time and practice, you will get there. But
Always
you always
learning.
have to ask and invite them to join us, because if you don't ask, the answer is probably always no. Always no. So next week, we look forward to talking about, so you're using all these skills that we've been sharing with you each week. So we're going to talk next week about how to onboard all of those VIPs and market partners who say yes because you asked, right? So I guess our call to action there is get out there, go ask them. And as a wise woman, it wasn't me, but I've heard it before, says it's important that you get your ask in gear. So we look forward to all of you going out there and asking, who can you invite? Who can you connect with? Work through these steps and ask.
Natalie, thank you. So fun spending Fridays with you. Have an
Always.
amazing weekend, everybody, and go ask. Have a great
That's
one.
right. Bye.
Bye.